So you're sewing along, there's a bit of bang or clunk, and that happens. You've broken your needle. Now, there's a number of reasons why that can help, some more serious than others, but I'm going to take you through the most common reasons why you break the needle. They don't just break of their own accord, there's always a reason why they snap. Most of the time it's something you can do something about it, changing your habits, changing the needle, we'll come on to all of that. But at the end I'm going to show you the one that you really do have to take it somewhere else. But I'm going to show you how you can check for that. Allow your machine to do its job. Under your presser foot are these little metal teeth. They're called feed dogs. I don't know why, but that's what they're called. And they grab and feed your fabric, move it forward. And they push up underneath the presser foot. So when you put it down and you're sandwiching the fabric between the two, there's enough pressure to make the fabric move. Now you can see I'm barely touching this fabric. I'm just making sure it's nice and straight where I want it to go. Too many times I see people pulling the fabric. I'm not going to do it because that's how you break needles. If you're pulling on the fabric as the needle's in the fabric, it doesn't take very much. There's really not much clearance on the needle plate or the shuttle hook underneath for that needle, that piece of metal, to hit another piece of metal. So, first tip, allow your machine to do its job. Very light, just touching. Yeah? Don't pull on the fabric. Sewing over pins. You'll do it from time to time by accident, but don't do it as a habit. I'm not even going to attempt it on this because basically if my machine needle hits one of these pins, it will deflect it, it could break it, it could knock the machine out of time, which is something we're going to come on to later. Basically, as you're sewing along, I'm doing it very slowly, stop before you get to that point, but close enough that it's still holding the fabric down, and just lift your pin out. Get into the habit of taking the pin out of the fabric as you're sewing. You can sew over pins a lot of the time and get away with it, but one day, sure as eggs is eggs, you're going to hit that and hit it hard, and it will damage. If you're lucky, it will just damage the sewing machine needle. If you're really unlucky, it will knock your machine out of time. Check the presser foot you're using when you're changing your stitch. Might sound an odd thing for me to say. I'll take a close-up photo of these, but if you can see, this foot, your standard foot, has a slot in it, which means if you press a stitch, zigzag is the most common, where the needle swings, the foot can take it because there's space for the needle to pass through. If you use a single stitch or a straight stitch foot, can you see that's just got a hole in it? And of course you pick, you're doing a load of things and you suddenly think, oh, I just need to offset the needle or choose a zigzag. If you do that with this foot, you're going to go bang, because you're going to hit the foot straight away because the needle can't pass through. There's no slot, there's just a dot. Again, damage the needle. Almost certainly will damage the needle, you have to change it. Might break it. Outside chance you could put the machine out of time, which is not really what you want to do. Make sure you're using the right needle for the fabric that you're going to be sewing. It's usually more relevant, I've got a couple of universal packets here, it's usually more relevant when you're sewing on thicker fabrics. Most of the time with standard cotton, this kind of thing that I was saying with earlier, a 70 or an 80 needle, which is on the packs and denotes the thickness of the needle, so therefore its ability to pass through the fabric. So for most standard sewing, a 70 or an 80 universal on cotton fabrics will be fine. If you're going to start sewing denim fabrics, then you need a higher number needle, goes up to 110. They're the thickest needles you can get. Actually no, you can get 120s, but they're quite hard to come by. But something like a jeans or denim needle are made with a very sharp point to pass through the thicker fabric, particularly on things like seams. Because if you try to do it with a finer, a lower number needle, the chances are you'll bend the needle or you'll break the needle. So keep a few of these in your box for use. And if you're working on, particularly on thicker fabrics, look for a needle that can actually sew through the fabric. Another point on needles is don't sew with a blunt needle. A blunt needle is far more likely to bend or break, particularly on slightly thicker fabrics. Rule of thumb is every time you start a new project, bung in a fresh needle. Every 8 hours of sewing or so, stick in a fresh needle. If you see a change to the quality of your stitch, looks a bit loopy or a little bit ragged, change the needle. If as you're sewing, and you'll get used to this if you've been sewing for a while, you start to hear a little popping noise, that means your needle is going blunt. Change the needle. Make sure, make sure your needle is in the machine properly. This is called the needle bar, and this is the needle clamp that you tighten to actually hold your needle in. And inside the bar, I'm not sure if you can see it, but I'll take it, is a little metal dot. And your needle needs to be pushed right up against the dot when you put it in, when you change. Let's drop that out of the way. When you change your needle, a little bit more, that's it. Push it right the way up, tighten the clamp, and you change the needle. And hopefully you can see that it's right up against the little dot inside. Why do I say this? If you don't put the needle in properly, if it doesn't push right up against that dot, effectively you're changing the timing of the machine. Your needle is in the wrong place. So the most likely thing is you won't be able to sew. If you're really unfortunate, unlucky, because you haven't put it in properly, the moment you go to sew, as it passes down inside the machine, it hits something metal because it's lower than it should be. You've got a broken needle. You might even have damaged the inside of the machine. So always make sure your needle is pushed right up against that dot. While I'm talking about that, the other thing is if you suspect for 1 second that your needle is bent, change it. Even a fresh needle, the first time you use it, you can bend it. Always change it, because effectively, again, you're changing the timing of your machine, and the needle will go somewhere it's not meant to go and could hit something it's not meant to hit. Thread your machine correctly. Follow all the thread guides, even the ones above the needle. You know, if you've got the book, get the book out. If you haven't, have a look on YouTube. But those thread guides are there for a reason. They keep the thread in the right place and hold it against the needle properly. And it means that they tension properly against the needle. They pass through the eye of the needle cleanly. They don't get caught up. They don't bend the needle when you don't want it bent and potentially break it. So thread your machine properly. If you're not sure, take the thread out, start again. Keep your machine clean, particularly under the needle plate. I'm going to show you, this is a photo of an old Singer that I got in a little while back that had been inherited, and I took the needle plate off, and well, you can see that lint had been there for years. You can see, I hope, also the bits of broken needle that were there, so proving my point. The point is that stuff gets in the way, can stop the machine from operating properly, stop the feed dogs from feeding properly, which means that the fabric's not moving as well as it should. You pull the fabric out of frustration, or the needle bends because it's not, and you break the needle. Keep the machine clean. This stuff can be pulled out, a pair of tweezers, a toothpick, even an old sewing machine needle. You can lift this stuff out. But yeah, this was actually one of the worst ones I've seen, and I'm amazed that the machine was feeding at all, because when the lint builds up underneath the plate, it pushes the feed dogs down. They've got nowhere else to go. And the feed dogs not being where they should be means the fabric won't feed properly. Well, if you've done everything else and you can hear your needle hitting something inside the machine, then there is a chance you've knocked your machine out of time. And this can happen when you sew over something hard, like a pin or a zip head or something like that, and it bangs the machine, or you smack the needle into a plate and it bangs the machine. And basically the way that sewing machines are made with screwed in gears and everything, the energy from that bang will make the gears slip. and it will knock the machine slightly out of time. That's not something you're going to be able to fix easily yourself. You're going to have to take it somewhere. But what I can show you is what a machine looks like when it's in time and when it's out of time, so you can check. So when the machine's in time, I've already taken the bobbin raceway apart. It's the same for top loading machines as well, because basically you have a hook, a shuttle hook on both machines. And the whole point is the needle and the hook need to be in a certain place at a certain time, being in time. So to check is bring your needle down as far as it will go, and then start to bring it back up a little bit. And what you're looking for is the hook to be behind the needle itself and just above the eye of the needle. So if you imagine if this machine was threaded up, that hook would catch the loop of thread and start to make the next stitch. This machine at the moment, this is one of my test machines if you're wondering, is in time. Now I've exaggerated this slightly. I'm going to show you a machine that's out of time. So it's the same thing again, fresh needle in the machine, bring the needle down as far as it will go, and as it starts to come up you can see that that hook is barely touching the tip of the needle. It will not catch the loop of thread. This machine is now out of time, and you'll have to take it to someone who can retime your machine for you. Well, I hope you found those useful. Pretty much all those points except really for the last one. You can do something about yourself. But even with the last one, the machine being out of time, I've shown you how to check for that. So if you do take it in, you can be comfortable in saying to the person that's going to look at the machine, I know this machine is out of time. You might even be able to pinpoint when it happened, because it generally tends to happen when you hear an almighty bang, because you've broken a needle, because you've sewn over something or sewn into something, and the energy from that bang has made the gear slip and they need to be put back in time. If you've liked this video, watch this one next.